that have held you in captivity for so long. It's time to flip the page and prove them wrong. It's time for rebirth. Yeah, time's up to say goodbye to all the haters, doubters, and unbelievers trying to bring you down. In the blink
Check, 1, 2. Looks like the audio is good. Hello? Oh, no. Let's see. Let me check. On my laptop. So let's check this out. Maybe go a little bit louder. Alrighty. How's everybody doing? All right. Happy Friday. Doing something a little bit different, though it's not really different. But right now, I am broadcasting on not only on the 420 Cafe, but also on my original channel, my very original, very first YouTube channel, which is now just temporarily named at the moment. I'm renaming it. It's been renamed like twice now, but the original name was Third Proverb. For those of you who don't know, it was a Christian channel. So I just kept the channel, but now since I'm evolving and keeping the channel and evolving the channel with leaving some old material still up there, just to kind of reminisce and stuff and see how far we've come. Not everything's up there, but yeah. So the new channel is just temporarily named Gen X John. Yes, Gen X John. And I'm going to go back to the old format with the original, which was the original channel was do a discussion there and then have after hours at the 420 Cafe. Don't have to worry about censorship, copyright, all that stuff, right? So I think most of the value will be at the original channel since I have the subscribers. They have to, get a nice head start. I just need the watch hours now to get monetized again. So I'm hoping, uh, you know, I want to be able to even add more value, and then of course, hopefully, monetize, get the support of the viewers, and make a little extra income. With that, I tried the buy me coffee thing. A lot of people used to buy me a cup of coffee, which is great. I've bought people a cup of coffee. Great idea. Unfortunately, my bank doesn't take Stripe. So I had to find another PayPal option, something that's cool, something where you can leave a message as well. So we're trying out Ko-Fi. So there's a link. You want to buy Brojo a cup of coffee and or bud, and leave a message. And if I get it during the show, I will be happy to read that message here. So I'm gonna start with we'll start here. Maybe depending on who, maybe we'll have one or two people come in on both channels at the same time. But um, after I present everything, we'll close it down and then have after hours at the 420 Cafe. So right now, they should be broadcasting on both channels, but eventually, yeah, we'll close Gen X and then go to the cafe for the after party. So, what brought up this topic? I was thinking, basically, I think I think mostly like religious folks. I equate some people who are very fundamentalist who can't even entertain a thought experiment, all right, for fear of having any kind of doubt, for fear of having a lack of faith, thereby not making their God happy. And a lot of times I equate this to a Stockholm syndrome. And I was wondering, well, when people do come along and question their beliefs and why they believe, a lot of the times, which is um, an experience or the Holy Spirit or these kind of things, or even question their interpretation of the scriptures, even when they're confronted with experts, scholars, authority figures, they will deny it and, do a little dance, make a little love, and say, no, they're wrong. Now, I will tell you, I will be the first person to say that you should definitely question everything, especially authority, especially, right? I mean, now, here's another one. Let's talk about another trauma and a lack of trust for authority because of that trauma. We could just think of 4 years ago, COVID. How much did that traumatize people? Being locked down, scared of an epidemic, of dying, their loved one. I mean, and I mean, I'm not saying the threat wasn't real to an extent, but that fear was used to manipulate and even test people, probably, in doing things that maybe they normally wouldn't do because they bowed down and trusted authority. And yes, science is even susceptible to now much doubt because of the politics. Right? We're supposed to trust science, it's scientific method. It's the best method we have to come to truth, right? Usually. Um, and so now even the politics have got involved and the money in this past incident, that makes us put doubt into these authority figures. Again, religious figures. How many being, we bring up Catholic Church. There's the abuses there. Uh, Law enforcement authorities. How about people who have suffered trauma? Maybe they were, maybe they were convicted of a crime that they didn't do, abused by police. That they were. It's not their fault. So now they mistrust the police. What do you think of when? I'm wondering what some people are thinking of when they saw authority in the title. Um, when you hear authority, what is that? What do you think of right away? Is it a more of a negative connotation, positive connotation? Because authority usually means, hey, you're an expert, you're a specialist in some kind of field, right? He's an authority on real estate. He's an authority on building a house. Expert. I'll quickly say hello, Nerdy. What's up, Nerdy? Sandy. You assume everyone watching is watching? Nah, I don't know who's watching. It looks like here it says one person is watching. Uh, so I wanted to ask AI to be kind of a psychoanalysis. There's all sorts of trauma. There's childhood trauma. There could be trauma, like I said, a military. If you're in a war zone, trauma. How many suffer PTSD? A 9/11 caused trauma, which can make us question authority, the medical establishment, the political establishment, and all that. But can we get, dare say, and I'm not again, we should be questioning, we should be skeptical. But can we get hyper skeptical? Can we use the trauma subconsciously or consciously as a scapegoat or an excuse to not take anyone at their word? Can it happen? Yeah. I've, people, listen, I think we've all have had it happen both ways. We've had someone we trust in betray trust, and we have betrayed others' trust. I'm sure at least once. And like they say, what do they say? Like it takes a lifetime to build up a reputation, but it only takes moments to destroy it. And then it takes that time and more. I mean, it takes more time to rebuild that trust. Get it? And hopefully, we're not just totally mistrusting. I like to give people benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise. I believe respect is earned, not given by default. And trust should be that way, but I give it benefit of the doubt. And of course, actions always speak louder than the words, especially when it comes to politicians. So let's go to AI. I was asking a Grok, matter of fact, about the relationship between Stockholm Syndrome and an authority figure. And here's the thing, an authority figure that is attempting, I'm going to talk about a positive authority figure trying to attempt, say you had let's go religion, and a lot of these religious discussions and debates, okay? And the authority figure, I mean, say they know their Bible, their translation. They're trying to tell you, listen, this is what it says. And no, you, because you don't want to displease God and because of the beliefs you have are stuck in, no, it's this way, no matter what the scholar, the expert says. It's like people who know nothing, like know nothing of law or medicine, right? There are experts who know better. Now, can experts be wrong? Can they be misguided? Can they be guided or influenced by negative means? Yes, got it. All right, trust but verify. Don't you know? Okay. We need a balance. We need to balance, everybody. All right. And then I asked AI about other, what was the other question? I followed up with, where was it? Sorry. Uh, does this also apply to other traumas that may cause refusal of a caring authority? Okay, so let's start from the beginning here. And I'm just gonna read this off. I dropped a link in the happy chat if anybody wants to join. Oh, there you go. All right, so let me present this. My mouth is getting dry already. This is on Grok. Oops. There we go. 7 minutes to the next 420. For those who you are watching, if anybody's watching on the original channel, 420. We usually take a 420 break. Yeah, hit some weed, because that's what we do. So, relationship between Stockholm Syndrome and an authority figure attempting to help someone escape is an intriguing psychological dynamic. Stockholm Syndrome refers to a condition where hostages or victims of captivity develop a psychological bond with their captives, often perceiving the captor's actions, even abusive ones, as kindness or necessity. When an authority figure, example, police, therapist, or rescuer, intervenes to help the victim escape, this bond can complicate the process. Below, I'll break down. I love how it says I'll break down the potential dynamics, pros, and cons of this interaction. I'll being Grok. It's funny. Anyway, Stockholm Syndrome typically emerges in situations of prolonged captivity or abuse, where the victim's survival depends on aligning with the captor. An authority figure attempting to help them escape introduces a new variable, someone offering freedom but potentially disrupting the victim's adapted worldview. Important. The victim's response depends on the depth of their bond with the captor and their perception of the authority figure. Here is the pros of an authority figure intervening. A lot of them should be obvious. Breaking the cycle of dependency. Authority figure can provide a clear path out of captivity, offering practical support to sever the victim's reliance on the captor. Example, law enforcement staging a rescue operation can physically remove the victim, interrupting the captor's control. Restoring autonomy. By presenting an alternative to the captor's authority, the intervener can help the victim regain a sense of agency, countering the learned helplessness often tied to Stockholm Syndrome. 3. Objective perspective. The authority figure can challenge the victim's distorted perception with evidence or reasoning, potentially accelerating psychological recovery. That one could be tricky. Safety and protection. Immediate intervention can prevent further harm, especially if the captor's behavior escalates. This is a tangible benefit that outweighs the emotional confusion the victim might feel. That could be traumatic. You have to force them out, and they're screaming, yelling, "No, I don't want to go." So here's the cons, and that's probably one of them. Due to Stockholm Syndrome, this is the cons of an authority figure intervening: resistance from the victim. Due to Stockholm Syndrome, the victim may distrust or reject the authority figure, viewing them as a threat to the, quote, safety or relationship they built with the captor. Every time Brojo says worldview. Worldview? The two, where was I? Okay. Then here's an example. A hostage might refuse to cooperate with police, believing the captor will retaliate or that the authority doesn't understand the situation. Oh, you just don't understand. This is his way of showing his love for me. Emotional conflict. The intervention can create a loyalty dilemma where the victim feels torn between the captor and the authority. This can lead to guilt, anxiety, or even hostility towards the rescuer. 3. Risk of escalation. If the captor perceives the authorities' involvement as a threat, they might tighten control or harm the victim to reassert dominance, especially if the victim shows signs of wavering loyalty. I'm just gonna read this last one, and I think someone came in. Delayed psychological recovery. Forcing a victim out of captivity before they're ready to reject the captor mentally can complicate long-term healing. This is what I was thinking about before, when if you had to forcibly take them out because that was the only way. They might romanticize the captor or feel resentment towards the authority for, quote, ruining the bond. What's up? I know this man knows a lot about this. There is Hillary's email. Therapist.
I am a fully qualified therapist.
Therapist.
Yep.
What say you, Hillary's?
I just came into you reading it, so I don't know.
Okay. I'm talking about how people of trauma, especially like Stockholm syndrome, might reject an authority figure
Uh-huh.
or reject the help from an authority figure, mistrust an authority figure.
Yeah, that incident that was based on was I believe it was a grocery store robbery. But some sort of store, department store, something. And then the police came but because they had transferred their feeling of authority from the official, government over to their captors, then that's why they distrusted the police. Because the police were something new that they couldn't be certain of, but their captors hadn't killed any of them, so they'd rather, you know. And the same thing can happen with a parent-child relationship where the child is so dependent upon the parent that even though they're extremely abusive, at least they know what that abuse is. So they'd rather have that than report the parent and be subjected to like a foster home or something.
Yeah. Kind of like rather. How's that saying go? Rather stay with the devil I do know than the devil I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah, better the devil I know than the one I don't.
Mm. So the dynamics at play: trust transference. Victims with Stockholm syndrome might transfer their trust from the captor to the authority figure if the latter mimics traits the captor used to gain loyalty, kindness, protection. However, if the authority is perceived as aggressive or dismissive, this transference fails. Power struggle. The captor and authority figure represent competing influences. The victim's response hinges on which figure they see as more legitimate or benevolent. Cognitive dissonance. The victim may struggle to reconcile the captor's abuse with the authority's promises of safety, leading to denial or indecision. We come across this a lot in our debates.
Mm-hmm.
Here's some strategies for the authority figures to navigate this relationship effectively. Build rapport. Approach the victim with empathy, avoiding judgment about their bond with the captor. Gradual influence. Rather than forcing immediate separation, provide subtle evidence of the captor's harm and the benefits of escape. This is where you go back to hopefully be able to reason with a person. Show him some evidence.
We saw that in the Bruce Willis movie too, about the high rise on Christmas Eve at Die Hard.
Ah,
Remember
yes.
that one guy that was all coked up, was just so certain that he'd have everything done. He was just tell the terrorists that he was in charge and they do whatever he said. And no, he got shot. So he misevaluated it.
Leverage allies. If the victim trusts others, involve them to bridge the gap between captivity and freedom.
Yes. That's why they often bring in a family member to talk to him.
Yep. For example, family. Yep. Pros versus cons summary. Pros: intervention offers a lifeline, safety, autonomy, and a chance to break the psychological hold of the captor. Cons: the victim's attachment can lead to resistance, emotional turmoil, or unintended escalation and complicating the rescue. In essence, the authority figure's success depends on timing, approach, and the victim's readiness to see the captor's true nature. It's a delicate balance between immediate action and respecting the victim's warped perception. A perception shaped by survival, not choice. What do you think about this tension? Any specific angle you like to explore further? And I think, and we got Green in here. All right.
Can you hear me?
Good panel
Very
here. All
well.
right. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, man. Yeah, I got an issue actually. Like,
Uh-oh.
I've been
Oh,
these fucking macchiatos from Dunkin' Donuts.
oh
Uh,
yeah.
no, it's been a fucking month, and now it used to be like 5 days a week every morning. Now
Mm-hmm.
I'm hitting that shit in the weekends too. Yeah, it's actually having an effect on me because, like, I don't
Oh, this is
know, but
you're addicted? You're Dunkin' Donut
yeah,
addiction?
man. Not only that, now I'm graduating to fucking donuts.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Yeah, I'm
No,
graduating to
no.
fucking donuts, man.
You need
Yo,
to go to
oh.
weed, especially on 420.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Frank's captor is Dunkin' Donuts.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Time to make the donuts.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
So as your
yeah,
therapist saying,
and I was wondering what the fuck. Hold on, wait, what fucking seatbelt? Hold on,
Uh-oh.
as your therapist,
motherfucker.
I'd like to restate the problem. I'm hearing that the macchiato is a gateway drug, and they just lured you in to sucker you to get you to get the donuts.
Yeah, they did because
Oh man.
now I'm, you know, yesterday I got a fucking apple crumb with the fucking apples in it filling. I never used to get that shit. It was like the regular, old fashioned donuts, French curlers.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm hitting the fucking the one with the fucking filling.
Wow.
So like I'm graduating. I'm going to fucking levels. That's it. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. I gotta say, yo, fuck this, no more. This is fucking worse than the vapes.
You're right.
Fucking,
It is.
it's worse than the fucking vapes. I can't
And
stop.
I
I
was
almost
here
got
really
two.
hoping. I was really hoping you would come in and have add some value to the topic we're discussing, but now we got to deal with addictions.
Well, yeah, I read in your fucking panel said psychoanalysis or some shit. I was like, all right, great. I got a fucking problem. I need to fucking talk about it. It's bad.
Oh. Well, okay. How about quickly this because I'm streaming on two channels, and for the more the informal kind of.
Oh, wait. I gotta be what formal here.
No, no, no. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to stay on topic for at least the first part. You know.
Okay,
All
okay.
right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
My
was.
bad. I didn't know what you guys were talking about.
It's
Sorry.
okay. Well, I'm talking about people going through trauma, can't trust people of authority, this kind of
Oh,
thing. You know, like say Stockholm syndrome.
that's
You
hot.
know, and they're in this abusive relationship, and they can't trust things. They're
Ooh,
not trusting, someone from the outside.
yeah.
So we're going
The
through. Yeah.
the word of the day is trust.
The word the word of the day is what?
Trust is the theme.
Trust.
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, trust but verify, right?
Oh, trust is very. Oh, yes, yes.
Because I think we could be. Can we be too? Um, can we be too skeptical sometimes of everything, and then we become very mistrustful, right?
Yeah, yeah. You could be stuck on your own ways, especially when I heard when you get older, it gets more difficult to actually accept, new ideas and things like that. That's why I always propose like, flexibility in the way of thinking, exploring new things. I don't know.
As
Am
an
I
old
making
man, I can
sense?
verify that.
It makes sense.
I'll say that again.
As an old man, I can verify that.
Uh, I'm old too, man. I'm right there with you. Yeah. Those fucking macchiatos made me feel old, man. I fucking felt like shit. You know, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop.
You,
That's it.
have you thought about
I feel like
homebrewing?
a new man.
You can
Yeah,
homebrew and use
I,
all the syrups and that at home and make it exactly the way you want.
Hillary, you have to understand something about me. I am a lazy motherfucker.
Okay.
I want everything done for me. I don't know. It's bad. It's bad. I know it's bad. But you know what? Maybe when I have some time, which is coming soon. Yeah, I want to do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
brew fucking coffee and tea. You know, do it all on my own. Be nice.
So I was asking Grok about other traumas, and so abusive relationships. Victims often form a trauma bond with their abuser, right? That's covered in Stockholm syndrome.
Hmm.
Yeah, correct.
Interpreting intermittent kindness as love or protection. They care. They might caring figure, even a counselor or police, might be rejected because the victim fears retaliation, believes they quote unquote deserve the abuse, or
Hmm.
feel the authority can't understand the complexity of their bond. Wow, yeah. Childhood abuse or neglect. Children may cling to abusive caregivers because they're the only source of stability or survival, even if flawed. This loyalty can persist into adulthood.
Some people like
Refusal
to
to.
get spanked. You know,
What's that?
I'm saying some people like to get spanked.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
that hurt me.
Refusal of authority. A teacher, social worker, or therapist offering help might be met with suspicion or hostility if the victim perceives them as a threat to their family unit or fears abandonment.
Interesting.
Mm. Three, cult or coercive control. Cult members often view their leader as a savior, despite manipulation or harm due to brainwashing and isolation. Depromer, refusal of authority. Deprogrammers or family members trying to intervene may be seen as enemies, disrupting a quote higher purpose or community the victim values. For example, a cult member refusing rescue, convinced outsiders are lost or evil. Alright.
I know there's groups that actually talk a lot about evil, tends to gravitate very culty-ish, you know? Like the outside world is evil, and they have this doom and gloom view of the world. It's satanic. And then I think what happens is like that group becomes more insular.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. Using code words and things like that. In jokes.
Yeah, you almost part of yeah, and that's like a a feature of it too. Like
Mm-hmm.
start being cold, it starts becoming that way. Hey, I have a question, and I'm thinking about this. Do you feel that Hare Krishna movement is a cult?
They're like, aren't they like a fringe group of Hinduism?
I don't
I
know if
don't.
they're a fringe group, but you know, this is the thing. I don't know. Actually, I don't know the answer to that.
Based on the broadest definition, yes, they're a cult. That doesn't mean that they're a bad cult or a destructive cult.
Oh, okay, okay. So like I was thinking of in a negative term. It could be good or bad. You could be in a good cult.
Yeah.
Are there any good cults out there?
Well, what would be like a
Health food,
good
maybe.
cult?
Helpful? Well, isn't that like a lifestyle?
Yeah, but a cult can be a lifestyle.
So you're like a group of people that just fucking eats like vegans, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you could say, yeah, I could say that they become you tend to have form gatekeepers in those type of groups.
Yep.
You
Keeping each
know,
other accountable.
Hmm.
oh, you're not, and it's same thing with the carnivore diet. It's like, oh, you ate a salad, oh, you fucking fat. No, like, yeah, could you imagine that shit?
Oh,
I'm the meat eating cult.
Pine
Jordan Peter.
Yeah, one of Pine Creek's mod was all into eating
They're
only meat.
vegans.
And so Pine Creek did that for like 30 days. And he's like, oh man, I want to have a carb so bad. It's like, no, man, you got to stay strong. That's so funny.
Ah, he's such a pussy.
It's like,
What? uh,
hmm.
yeah, man. But it does make a difference. Like, yeah, if you eat more like meats and less carbs, it does make a difference.
Hmm.
Does make a difference. Like I'm feeling it, and when you eat too much carbs, oh, you start feeling like
Shit.
yeah, you
Especially,
start feeling like shit. That's what
especially
that's
all
what I'm
those
feeling right now.
donuts. Especially
Yeah,
all those donuts. Yeah,
I'm fucking feeling like shit right now. Like I'm depressed. I feel like I had my
uh,
fucking period. That's what it feels like.
wait, how would you know that?
I don't know, but it
I don't know.
does. It's fucking sucks. That's what girls say. They say, "Ah, it's the worst feels." Well, yeah, you know what? I think I'm having like the worst man period ever.
Stay away from carbs.
Yeah, stay away the fucking Dunkin' Donuts. It's fucking evil. It's fucking satanic shit, man. No
Stay away.
more.
Stay away from that carb cult.
Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts is a cult.
So here's another trauma. Let's wrap
Yeah.
this up, and then I'll just go to the cafe. But post traumatic stress disorder (PTSD)
Well,
from war or disaster. Survivors may develop hypervigilance or distrust of systems. For example, government or aid workers if past help failed or came with strings attached.
Yeah, you ever saw that movie Rambo?
Yeah.
That's a perfect example of PTSD. That movie was like, they shouldn't even call it Rambo. They should call it PTSD, bro. That motherfucker he started seeing shit, man. Fuck.
Or
Uh,
the other one? What was the other one? Not in the military. Michael Douglas, the one he got fired from his job, and he just
oh
didn't get.
yeah, falling
Oh,
down. Oh fuck,
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
And that heat.
that
Oh,
was good.
that's when that shit. That's when all that trauma comes back.
So
LA is
refuse.
hot.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. No, my bad.
okay, sorry. A caring figure might be dismissed if the victim associates them with betrayal or believes they're too broken to be helped. Example: a veteran avoiding therapy, fearing judgment, or loss of control.
But you said lost control,
Yeah. An
like your
example.
bodily functions.
I think he means more dependency on somebody else.
Control themselves.
All
Get it?
control themselves. I thought it was like,
Mhm.
fucking, you start shitting on yourself.
No.
It's like, how the fuck can you lose control? I was all right. They didn't explain it right. That's one.
Across these traumas, refusal of a caring authority figure often stems from trauma bonding, the emotional attachment to the source of harm as a coping mechanism, learned helplessness, belief that escape or change is impossible, so rejecting help feels safer, distrust, past experiences, for example, betrayal, institutional failure, make authority figures suspect, which just went over an example of that. Identity fusion. The trauma becomes part of the victim's self concept, so rejecting it via help feels like losing themselves. That definitely with cultish behavior or even leaving a religion and false belief. Sure. This is pretty much the same prose that went over the last time. So I'm not going to go over here's here's some key differences from Stockholm syndrome. I guess they're making than with these other traumas. Stockholm syndrome is tied to physical confinement, while other traumas might involve psychological rather than literal captivity. Stockholm syndrome often develops quickly under extreme stress, whereas other trauma bonds, like child abuse, build over years. Authority perception. In Stockholm syndrome, the authority is an immediate rescuer. In other traumas, they might be a slower presence. For example, a therapist altering the rejection dynamic. Again, timing, perception, empathy versus action. Same kind of challenges from previous. Any closing thoughts? I'll just open it up, or I don't know. Anyone else have an opinion, comment? I'll come on in. I'll drop a link.
Yeah, I have an opinion. Like, it's gonna be great. Like tomorrow, that I'm not gonna have like Dunkin' Donuts, ice macchiatos, so
You might have to start driving a different route or something, huh? To
well,
get
no,
to where you.
it's all over the fucking place. Uh, it's like every time I drive, like 5 miles, it's one there. These guys are horrible, horrible. Anyway, so like, yeah, PTSD is bad. Yeah, I don't know. You know,
Well, but with Rambo, like he faced multiple betrayals. He was trying to deal with his PTSD by reconnecting with his buddies from Vietnam. But then when he went into town, like the police screwed him over immediately. You're not even
yeah,
allowed in here. And then, okay, you want to talk to your buddy? Well, we'll just lock you up and beat you up and wash you with a fire hose.
yeah, it was crazy. It's fucking. That's what you call like a fucking ego. This guy couldn't fucking take lose it. He just couldn't stop. Yeah, I don't know. It was a crazy movie, but like, yeah, man. I say this. With PTSD, try ayahuasca. You know? Definitely do some psychedelics or something, or you could do this. You could just go somewhere else, like go to another country. Just get
Is my
yourself out of your
audio all
shell.
right?
Oh, what the fuck? Hey, what's going on,
Yeah.
Sammy?
I agree. My only thing about psychedelics with mental health,
Oh yeah,
may
yeah. I forgot
maybe
about that. Oh my bad.
microdosing, but
Yeah, yeah,
because for me anyway, all my drug experiences, the experience itself was so much dependent on the mood and the frame of mind I was in
yeah,
prior to doing it, that I wonder what, like, if you have full blown PTSD and you do a mad trip, like, it could just be all flashbacks and God knows. Yeah.
yeah. You're probably right. I guess it depends. Yeah.
That's why I think that they need to do so much more research into microdosing.
Well, they're doing some shit on mushrooms with OCD, and the results were pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Which goes to
there's
show
multiple
that
ways. Yeah,
there's
there's a lot
something
of studies out there.
physiological, but there's something physiological happening, not just psychological, which a lot of people want to put it down to, oh, it's the experience and blah blah. Maybe, but I think there's, also something physiological that the drugs may be doing.
You think psychedelics will help with either these PTSD, trauma, or even Stockholm syndrome?
Just and this is anecdotal, like, and I just feel that when I did it, I expected more of a psychedelic experience. That's not what I got. Surprisingly, it felt more like I was taking medicine, you know, and it felt more sensory than psychedelic. Yeah, I had like a strong psychedelic experience, but it was more, something. It was crazy. Like I can't explain it, but it almost felt like I was being rewired.
You were.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
And I couldn't explain it, but like the next day I had the biggest cheese smile in my fucking face. So like
yeah,
the thing is like, yeah, it's not so much about the experience like you were saying, Sam. There's something physiological going on when you take these
yeah.
substances. So it's
And
not so much about the psychedelics, and that's the experience I got with ayahuasca.
well, I have a running theory that I'm just thinking about with it, and it is that, like we use electroshock therapy, we now have a magnetic version of that as well. Um, I see with epilepsy how after an epileptic episode, often the brain resets. Like my son had to learn to speak twice now, poor
Wow.
thing. Um, so I can see how strong psychedelics and other antipsychotics and things like that could literally just be doing like a reset on neural
Just
pathways
hitting
and
that
things.
reset button. Was just thinking that reset.
Yeah. Like an epileptic seizure, like
People,
shocking the brain with electricity. There's multiple ways you can interrupt
yeah.
and do like a reset.
Yeah, it's funny, and because we live in modern society, and I know this is like a trope, but this is like ancient medicine that we're talking about. We're talking about the most simplest things that coming out of the ground, like you know,
Mm.
and the way they make these things, like with ayahuasca, then they broil it. There's a chemical process to do it, but
We
these are
must
very simple
connect,
things. Yeah, these
reconnect
And
with
are
nature. We do in so many different ways.
yeah. So
and the
it's effective.
experts keep sort of dismissing the idea, but I really think there's something to the what do they call it? Is it stoned monkey or
Yeah, stoned egg
forget?
theory.
Yeah. Imagine being a simple, and by simple I mean compared to us, but an ape in the jungle living your life and you eat this funny mushroom and next thing you're
Mm,
tripping balls like
mm. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the only thing is that I'm not too
and
sure about the idea because like I think about it, like there's other animals that we eat that too.
Mhm.
Their digestive system may be different. So like yeah, there's certain things that those things. Yeah, I think it can make you think outside of the box, and I think it contributed, but I don't think it's the sole thing that will
no, no, of
push them.
course
Yeah,
not. There was
yeah,
heaps of factors like eating meat and
yeah,
learning that we could cook our meat actually was a
yeah.
huge advantage
Hmm.
for getting
Wait a minute,
protein
wait.
and shit
Yeah,
for
yeah,
our brain. Um,
yeah. Or you go the other theory that like Adam and Eve ate the apple.
All right, before we go there,
Wait,
all
wait,
right, I'm
wait.
gonna
Jesus.
hold on,
Let's
guys. Hold on, guys. I just want to close up this segment on one of the channels. So, and then we'll just have the after party at the 420 Cafe. So, if anybody's listening over there, meet us over here, and yeah, we talk about drugs and get into a different topic. But all right, hope you got something out of this, and we have to fun. Yeah.
Do you feel the vibe?